Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Rick, Broadman Baptist Church. This is the Broadman Word for November 12th, 2021. And today I want to talk to you about church friends. We all know folks at church, but how effective are those relationships? Do you only see them on Sundays, sometimes other special events? Or are these relationships really horizontal connections to a vertical relationship with God? Are they the result of your vertical relationship with God spreading out horizontally to make connections with people around you? Hopefully not just at church, everywhere you go, but just knowing people, even knowing them to call them a friend, is not necessarily an indication that there's an effective relationship. If you have an effective relationship, it's going to have some characteristics, and I have 6 things for you to consider today. The first thing is authentic love and acceptance. That kind of love is natural, and it's not forced. You enjoy each other's company. And so finding folks in your church body that it is natural to be around and that you enjoy their company is a very important thing. We need to be friendly and consider ourselves brothers and sisters to everybody. There are all those folks who are a little harder to like than others, but that doesn't mean that we don't like or love them, and maybe just differently. So we need to search out for maximum effectiveness, authentic love and acceptance amongst folks. Second, a common worldview and purpose. Usually those kinds of connections with folks will be people that you see the world through similar eyes, and they often share your big picture. So it's important that you line yourself up with some biblically minded, biblically worldview holding folks, because if not, then you're in the position of teacher and ambassador and not friend. So it changes the role, and you might not get quite as much out of that relationship, a friend relationship. Now, you will be fulfilled for doing your part to bring this person into reconciliation with the cross and into the family of God, hopefully. That would be key. But in terms of effective personal relationships, because that's the context that we're talking about, probably ought to try to line yourself up with people that have the same worldview. Deals and destinations. These kinds of friends tend to know each other's priorities and locations and each other's comings and goings. Now, you're not going to be the calendar police. Certainly not going to be the church attendance cops. But you tend to know where the kinds of places and the kinds of times that these folks that you're associated with, the kinds of things they do and the time frames that they do them in, what their priorities are, and how they go about making these things happen in their life. Putting each other first, this is number 4. It's hard to have an effective relationship, a sort of intimate friend, if they're not interested in you as much as you are in them, and in fact they don't have the capability to put you first and make your priorities their priorities, at least while you're together and trying to accomplish the purposes of the kingdom. You as well. You're not going to be able to truly have an effective relationship with somebody else that is truly kingdom advancing if you're not able to put them first. Having a purposeful memory, number 5. Remember what's going on with someone, particularly when they say that they matter to you, not just when you're in their presence, but be aware of what's going on with them all the time. And so you probably ought to keep this group of folks small so that you can maintain that level of connection. Number 6, purposeless calls. These kind of friendships entail folks that will just call each other to simply check in. Nothing more than a hello. No needs on either side, just thinking about you, wanting to know how you are. And so there is an art to this kind of intimate, effective relationship, friendship. Too much attention is a little unnatural and weird. Could even be considered as contrived or maybe smothering the helicopter friend, right? But too little, and you'll feel like perhaps you're a friend by appointment only, and that's not good either. So a nice balance then with the purposeless calls. We have some scripture here. John chapter 15, verse 13, it says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend." And so we need to feel like we will go as far as we need to go with these people that we call our intimate friends. When we get there, wherever the destination is, we could rest in knowing that we were effective in their lives, them and ours, and that both together, or the group together that you have of these this level of relationship, was able to make a difference. You made a difference in the world. You lived out God's purpose. You sought His will. You moved the kingdom forward. You glorified and honored His name while you were here. And you had these people helping you along the way. What an amazing thing that would be. So intimate friendship, this kind of closeness costs something. But if you've lived so far without it, I can tell you when you find somebody that you can have this kind of relationship with, the cost is absolutely worth it. So the challenge then is, are you willing to take friendship to another level? Ask God to lead you to these kinds of folks who will stick closer to you than most anybody else. Listen, this was Perspectives from the Devotional Radical Wisdom. As always, I'm going to close by telling you that I love you, probably more than you understand, but I do. I care about you. I want you to have this kind of relationship with folks. I want you to be effective as you can be, and I want you to feel fulfilled because you are effective. I will see you next time. Take care.